Talking with Topher is sponsored by slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. Put in promo code TOPHER before you check out for 10% off your purchase. More on that later. Let's get into episode 144. What is happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back on this Thursday, January 5th, 2023, and I'm so glad to have you here with me. I'm still working on that. I think I got to come up with something better, but I'm working on it. I'm working on a lot of things, but before I get into any of that, let me start off by saying thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you to my new subscribers. So happy to have you here with me in 2023. All of you are what keeps me coming back here week after week. So I greatly appreciate all of you. If you are just stopping by or you're checking out the podcast for the first time, click, smash, stomp on that subscribe button, okay? It's the one thing that you can do for me. It keeps me coming back week after week. And of course, it helps the podcast grow, and I need your help to be doing that. So go ahead. It's free for you. Click that subscribe button. All right, go ahead and do that. If you want to get more involved with the podcast, the official email of Talking with Topher is talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's right. It's just that simple. You can send a video, audio, or a typed out email to Talking with Topher. Whether you want to be a guest, you want to tell your story, or maybe somebody has that story that just needs to be heard, go ahead and send that over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com, the official email of the podcast. And then, of course, if you want to follow me, I'm everywhere. All social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. And right now, you can click the Linktree link in the video description below. So go ahead and do that. It's going to give you access to everything TwT. That's right. Super simple, easy way to get involved in everything that I'm doing. Just click the Linktree link. Go check it out and subscribe, follow. I greatly appreciate everybody who does that. And thank you again to everybody that came onto the podcast in 2022. I'm looking forward to working with more of you, and I'm looking forward to all the new things coming to Talking with Topher this year. All right, and now with all that out of the way, let's get into today's episode. Yes, let's get into today's episode. So I've had so much going on the last month. This is the first time I'm recording in 4.5 weeks now. It's early in the morning, and I got to get going. So I'm going to try and get through as much as I can. And I just want to let you know right off the bat, I put up a couple shorts dealing with, my addiction during the holidays. For me, it has gotten a lot easier, but I'm still battling with the vaping now. There's always a battle with something. I feel like life is a battle in general. I was always told when I was a kid to wear a helmet. And I find that to be true, because no matter how much preparation you put into things or how much you plan for stuff, or there's always a hiccup. There's always something that gets in the way. And I've noticed that a lot of people like to do New Year's resolutions. That's like a tradition, right? And you know how I feel about traditions. Traditions, they fade over time. They're not everything. Sometimes they are the glue that holds a family together, and I understand that. But unfortunately, as time goes on and we have people pass, traditions change, families change. And I've gone through a lot of change over the last 6 years. This podcast gotten has had a lot of change in the last 2.5 years. And I've also learned that resolutions, I feel like they just set you up um, for failure. And I'm not saying that nobody can do a resolution, or you yourself can't do a resolution. Sure, sure. I mean, absolutely. Um, if that's what you feel is necessary to get you to the next step, then you should do that. I just I prefer goals. And I know I mentioned this in a short, but it's like I feel like the details are so important, because nothing is going to happen overnight. There's not one thing that we do that happens overnight. Everything is a slow burn, it's a trickle, it takes time. You have to have patience. Even though I feel like today, 24 hours goes by faster than 24 hours, if that makes any sense. But this social media, that we are all involved with, has this like instant gratification. I myself get stuck in it sometimes, where right now, I've left New Hampshire Vape Gallery. I've been at Rap City for a month, 1 month, and I feel very confident in my position. I gambled on myself. I blew up my life. I changed my career. I am now in the hospitality business, is what they like to call it, which is fine. That's great. I've never been here before. It is a completely and absolutely new world to me. But there's been times where I feel like I should have caught on to certain things quicker, and my brain is overloaded. I had 1 week. Well, it wasn't 1 week. It was a day last week, and I just went to the station where I always go, and things were going great, and then all of a sudden I kept failing, and I was like, what is happening? And me and Tyler were talking about it, and he said that, like, your brain's like a CPU, and eventually you start overheating. And what happens is your CPU has to readjust for that overheating to allow it to cool. So it slows it all down, because you just got too much information going on up there. And I think I'm paraphrasing this, and I might have a little bit of it wrong, but the overall message was that it was a lot. It was a lot of information that I gathered in 1 month, right? So because of that 1 month of information, I just got to a point where the brain went, we're still trying to process all of this, and now you're trying to do this, and we're just going to shut down. We're going to shut down. We're going to let the CPU cool, and as soon as it's cooled off, we'll ramp it up again. So I had a day. I finally had a day where, like, I was just running into a wall, not getting it, and I was very frustrated with myself. But you know what happened? The next day, everything was fine again. So I think he was right. And that system overload of information, when we take on something new, when you're diving in head first, you just want to learn it all, right? You want to be an expert immediately. And in the social media world, that works. Instant gratification is basically all you're getting out of there. And that doesn't happen in real life. It's not going to happen with getting off of your addiction. It's not going to happen with trying to better yourself. It's, all of these things take time. It's a slow burn, like I said, slow burn. And when I finally realized that nothing that I do is going to happen quickly. It doesn't matter if I'm working on the house, if I'm changing myself, if I'm working on a new addiction, or if I'm doing the podcast, or if I'm having guests on, or if I'm learning a new career. It's all going to be frustrating. It's all going to take time. But the difference between what I'm doing in my personal life compared to what I'm doing in my career, at least in my career, I can bounce off of the people that have been doing it longer or the people that are helping me get to a better spot. I can look at them and be like, okay, so 1 month is gone. Did I meet? Whoa, let me start. Was I lower, meet, or was I higher than the expectations that you had for me, right? And I think that's a fair question. I do look at everything that I'm doing, and I'm constantly asking questions. I'm constantly trying to get it right, because this isn't just a job. It's my next step. And I was told that I met expectations. And of course, did I want to exceed expectations? Of course I did. I was like, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to kill it. And then I realized that, oh no, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to learn as much as I can in 1 month. And I just hope that that I'm meeting expectations and that I'm not lower than. Because if I'm lower than, well, that could be a complete game changer, right? They're not going to hold on to me if I'm not meeting expectations. So you have to at least be at that level. And I did. I felt that I did, but I constantly was asking, I'm not getting this. I want to get it. I want to be here. I want this to work. And me and Tyler were talking like we always do. And he started a new position. He moved up a level, and he was feeling the same way. I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Well, maybe longer for him. I think I'm on a 4 or 5 week window now. He was more. I think he did this like 2-3 months ago. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But anyways, the gist of all of it is he was going through the same thing. He's learning all these new tasks. He's constantly asking questions. He's worried that he's dragging everybody, holding everybody back or dragging them down because he's not as quick and efficient as everybody around him. And I was going through the same thing. I'm talking to my supervisor and I'm talking to everybody. And I'm like, I just feel like I'm slowing everybody down. And they're like, actually, you're not, because now you are learning. Everybody's showing you stuff. And we have people that can pick up the little bit of slack that you might be causing right now. But guess what? In 2 more months, when your training's done, you won't be holding us back. You'll see. When you get it, you're going to get it. But it's going to take time. And he was on the same page. His supervisors told him the same thing. But we, as the alcoholic addicts, control freaks, I like to call it, we want that instant gratification. I want to learn this. I want to absorb it, and boom, I know it. And it's just not going to happen. And that's the same thing with your goals or resolutions. See, I look at a resolution like I look at my expectations for myself to learn this position. I wanted it now. I wanted it 4 weeks ago, right? That's not going to happen. So a resolution is not going to work, because a resolution, basically, I'm done smoking January 1st. Well, good luck to you. I hope you are. I hope you went out and got all your vape stuff, or got your pouches or your gum or whatever you were looking for to help you get off of smoking. But I look at this I look at this career, and I look at my life as individual goals. I have so many goals, and I can't go through them all. Hell, some of the goals that I've been talking about, I've been working on for 2 years. Some of the goals started last year, right? I talked about my vaping. I'm down to 3 bottles of juice now, right? That I have extra. I got 2 bottles that are halfway gone. And I've got 15 to 17 more coils before it's all over. So I've been working on quitting vaping. I've been using my pouches at work. So like I said, that was a 9-hour window where there's no vaping. Now I travel from store to store, so I do a little bit of vaping in between, just because I haven't ordered any more pouches yet. So I have to order more pouches today. I have to order a few more things for my job, and I need a new cable for my car. So I got stuff that I need to get to accomplish a few more goals. The podcast, I'm going to have more guests on, but that's going to take even more time now because I don't have as much free time, right? I'm working 5 days a week instead of 4. So I don't have my lovely Monday off anymore. I will be crushing it and getting my grind, and then I'll be going to jiu-jitsu, and I might be able to record at night, but I'm not sure. I don't know if that window exists. So as I rearrange my schedule, my eating schedule, my living schedule, my home, my work, everything, it has just been a very, very slow process. And that's why I like little goals. You set a little goal because they're achievable. And the more you achieve something, even if it's just teeny tiny, that's going to give you the confidence to achieve the next one. Where a resolution, you're looking for instantaneous results. And unfortunately, that's just something that most people can't even do. You probably woke up hungover this morning, right? Had way too much to drink. You're heating up that coffee, and all of a sudden, that urge to quit smoking is escaping you minute by minute. That's what happens. I do believe, and you can look it up if you want, I'm probably wrong, but I like to put numbers to things. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that they say 75 to 90% of New Year's resolutions, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to quit smoking, I'm going to go on a diet. Do you know how long it takes to actually go on to a diet? Do you know how long it takes to change over your eating habits after doing it for your entire life? Or maybe you've been eating like shit for a couple years. Just like me trying to say that this career is going to be so easy for me no. You were doing the same crap for 6 years. You want to reprogram yourself? Like my sleeping schedule, I am still struggling to get up at 3:30. I've gotten up at 4. I've gotten up at 4:30. The latest I've gotten up is 5:30, which is a nightmare for me. But it's not going to happen overnight. I can't change a sleeping schedule that I was doing for 6 years in 1 month. So as I change over my sleeping, as I'm getting my schedule reconfigured, as all these things are happening, I'm setting up small goals. All right, you got up at 4:30. Now we need to push it back to 4. Let's try this month to get up at 4. And then the following month, I'm going to try and get up at 3:30. So it might take me 3 to 4 months before my sleeping schedule actually changes. But after 3 months, my entire schedule is going to change again, right? Because I'm going to be traveling. We're going to be opening up new stores. I'm going to be part of that new construction, training people, getting people ready for that new location to open. And it's going to be a lot of work. And I am looking forward to it. But I've also got to meet these goals to make it that much easier to accomplish my tasks, right? So I know I'm getting a little long in the tooth with this, but I just wish more people would understand that things just don't happen without you putting in work, like major work. I've talked about it a few times, but there's a lot of new people now, and you're probably watching the newer episodes more than the older episodes, which I highly recommend. If you had to listen, watch, and edit yourself, I mean, there's nothing that I like. I'm really hoping I can hire an editor this year. I really am. I'm hoping by the mid-year, one of my goals, right, to hire an editor. I want to do all this, and I want to hand everything off to somebody, and I want them to edit it. I do not want to do my editing anymore. I can't even stand to listen to myself most of the time. So editing myself is really hard because most of the time I want to delete everything. I'm being honest, right? But more people need to understand that there is no instant gratification out there. But there is hard work, putting in time, and accomplishing goals. That is doable. So if you have a New Year's resolution, keep it. Keep that resolution, 100%, keep it. Make small goals. Make the resolution the big goal. The big goal. Make small goals to reach your resolution and work on it every day, right? I'm journaling every day. I'm working on not vaping every day. I work on not drinking. Yeah, I work on drinking. I work on not drinking alcohol every single day of my life. That is never going to change or go away because the day that I stop working on it is the day I could possibly go back to drinking. Everything is a work in progress. You are never done. You are never done. There's always something new. There's always something going on. And there is always something that is going to get in your way and or slow you down from accomplishing a goal. But don't allow it to stop you from reaching that goal. And I'm bringing this up because a lot of the stuff that happened this month was very frustrating. I was frustrated with myself. I was worried that I was not meeting the expectations of the people that hired me. Like I said, I gambled on myself. I threw up everything to do what I'm doing right now. And if I fuck this up, what am I going to go back to? There's nothing to go back to. So this and I have to make sure that this is, I'm putting in everything. And that's what you have to do for yourself. You really do. You got to clean the closet out. You got to focus on your goals. You got to focus on it every day. You got to put it in a little bit of time. You got to stop wasting time, right? If you don't have enough time to get specific things done, you need to look around and realize what you may or may not be indulging into your free time, maybe a waste of time. Could be the reason that you can't reach those goals or you can't keep that resolution because you can't do it without changing things. You can't be like, I'm going to quit smoking, but then every day you're doing the exact same things that you've always been doing. You literally need to change what you do, who you hang out with, how you utilize your time. You know, I don't get any sleep, okay? And I'm not saying that that's one of the things you have to do, but this is how I get through my stuff. I literally have 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. I'm working 13-hour days. I'm putting in work now. It's my day off. This is work. I have to still go and do everything else for the house. I got to get cleaned up. I got to go grocery shopping. There's no time to stop. Now, do I make time? Yeah. I watch some TV, hang out with my wife. That's decompressing. But some people like to play video games. But here's the problem with that. Eventually, you're not using it to decompress. You're just playing video games. Well, that could have been time to work on your goal. That could have been time to work on the journal. That could have been time to work on yourself. Maybe go to the gym or work on music, work on your hobby, work on your love. I try not to waste more than maybe 3 hours a day. On a Sunday, it could be 5, but I deserve that. I worked hard all week. You can have a treat here and there. You can treat yourself for doing a good job, but you have to do a good job. You have to do it. You got to put in the work. If you want to change your diet, it's going to be very difficult and it's going to be more expensive. That's the price of taking care of yourself. That's the price of bettering yourself. That's how it goes. So you have to be willing to sacrifice to be able to get to where you need to be or where you want to be. And if you do all of that, eventually you'll get to the point where you have everything under control and you'll be able to have those treats again. Just because if you're not making a career out of video gaming, stop it. It's a waste of time. You're not doing anything positive. It's not. It's just not. The same goes with anything. If you're not making money, you're probably wasting time. And you're like, well, you're doing a podcast and you're not making any money. You are 1,000%. But I've helped people. This has helped me. This has helped me with my speech. It's helped me with communicating with others. It's just helped me in general, and it makes me feel good. So if video games do that for you, or whatever you're getting into, that's great. This doesn't hold me back from bettering myself. If anything, when I talk about the stuff that bothers me, I do better. You know, all this stress and everything that I've gone through, I never could handle this. I would always go back to drinking. I would always be like, that's too much. It's too much. I need to shut down. I need to decompress. And you find yourself at the bottom of a bottle, not decompressing. You fell off again. Now you feel miserable because you're like, oh, I'm right back in it. That's why I used to torture myself with a 5-day water fast. But with this new career, that's not even a thought anymore. And I'm like, holy crap. I get stressed out. I get frustrated. But I'm not thinking about drinking. I'm thinking about, well, how can I turn this around? How can I be less frustrated? How can I be better at what I'm doing? And you know what's doing that for me? The gratitude. The gratitude journal. The work I've put in. The exercises I put myself through. And the simple fact that I know that if I ever have an issue with anything, that I can talk to people. That's helped tremendously. Just being able to talk and express how I'm feeling and have somebody who's been doing it a lot longer than I have be like, I was where you are. Hell, the guy that's training me has worked in this industry for over 20 years, and he's been doing what he's doing for the last 3 years. And, right? Yeah, I think it was 3 years. And then it could be longer, but it doesn't matter what the length of time is. But he made a mistake. And he goes, see, we all do it. And I'm like, what? That's incredible. And it just shows me that I'm going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It doesn't matter if you've been doing this for 20-something years or if you've been doing it for 2 fucking months. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall down. It's all on how you pick yourself back up and deal with the situation and move forward. Because if you get up and you move backwards, that's frustrating too and disappointing. So I think this year you're going to want to set that resolution, right? If you got one, don't get rid of it. But instead of having it be an instantaneous thing, make that the big goal and do all the little goals to achieve the big resolution, which I like to call a goal. It's just a big goal. Slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. You're not sure how to spell it? It's right here at the bottom of the screen, or you can click the link in the description below the video. And you can see I'm wearing Frankenstein's Monsters shirt right now. And these guys have come out with all brand new clothing for 2023. They've updated everything again. I absolutely love this company so much. They came out with different colored socks. They got the tattoo gun stickers, the tattoo gun hats, the tattoo gun pin. I mean, just amazing. They did it in a shirt. I mean, they call it the Snake and Coil Machine Tee. These are so beautiful, so vibrant. I mean, how can you go wrong, right? It's the new year. Well, let's get some new clothing as well. I mean, they sent me the Dagger and Panther tee, right? I'm wearing the Frankenstein tee. Look at this. The WTF crazy design. That is amazing. It's that tiger with the crown eating a skull. I just love all these prints. They've updated Tiki, brought them back because it's Tiki 2022. And all of these are available right now. That's right. You go to slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com and you have access to all of these designs as I scroll through them. This stuff is amazing, and you can get it right here. And now, if you put in promo code TOPHER before you check out, you're going to get an extra 10% off this entire purchase. Yeah, not one item, your entire cart. Isn't that amazing? I think it's incredible. I have Slowdown to thank. I have all of you to thank for Slowdown sponsoring the podcast. So I can give a little bit back. 10% off the purchase. When you go to slowdownclothing.bigcartel today, before you check out, put in promo code TOPHER. Save 10% more off of the purchase. So for 2023, let Talking with Topher save you some money on your slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com purchases. I want to have guests on. That's the other thing. We're going to be having more guests on, right? I got a guest for January. I think we're going to shoot a conspiracy podcast in February. I'm not sure on what's going to happen after that. I'm not going to make any guarantees or promises, but I am going to do my best to try and continue what happened last year. I got some rearranging and here to do. I've got all kinds of things that I'm going to be working on this year, but I really wanted to touch on this. I think that as time continues, I believe resolutions are coming to an end. Most people today know that they need to make goals in order to move forward, and you need to make them achievable so that you don't get discouraged and lose focus of what is actually what the big goal is, right? So all this stuff happening, this very first January episode, I mean, we're already off to a great start. New York had a celebration, and then 3 cops, there was like a hatchet incident in there. And, I wanted to kind of get into some Topher topics, but at the same time, I really wanted all the focus to be on this right here. You can do it. I believe everybody can do it. It just, How much discipline are you willing to put yourself through? How much I call it pain, because a lot of the stuff that I went through over the last 2.5 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it was painful. I wanted to throw in the towel so bad. I wanted to give up. I didn't want to do it anymore. But when I did it, when I got through it, when I kept my promises, I did what I said I was going to do, that was more rewarding than a lot of the stuff I've done in my life. And now I'm just doing it again and again and again and again. And that is what makes it easier and easier and easier. So I know this is a short episode for the beginning of the year, but look, this is the way it's going to be for a little bit. So, like I said, stick with me, right? Thank you for sticking with me. I'll have more episodes. Obviously, there's going to be an episode every week. That's not changing. But I think they're going to be short. They're going to be sweet. They're going to be, something editable for me until I can get an editor. But I love being able to express myself here. I don't know about anybody else, but my New Year's was very good. I hope yours was too. We were supposed to go out, decided not to go out, decided to stay home, take it easy. She was tired. I was tired. It was a long week. And it was just really nice to stay home. I watched the Imperfects on Netflix. Holy shit. I fell asleep. I think I got like 10 minutes left of the very last episode. Absolutely fucking awesome. Now, I don't know if that was the mushrooms I was on that made it absolutely amazing. And that's another thing I've gotten into that really seems to break me out of my shell, allows me to look at myself and understand. It's like, I don't know. I feel like I kind of go through all the things that I've done and I get to reflect on them. But man, that show was fucking intense. It was so good. And I'll give you the gist of it. Basically, the scientist makes stem cells that cause the human body to become immortal. But at the same time, you kind of get a tweak. And depending on the person or the stem cells injected, you get like a special power. But it is absolutely, I thought it was so good. I thought it was so fucking good and believable. Somebody could do things like this. This could happen. We have CRISPR. We're not that far off. So I thought it was really good, really entertaining. It could have been the fungus, but I enjoyed it so much. I fell asleep before the ball dropped. 20 minutes too. I looked at my phone. I was getting ready to pull up the Channel 9 video so I could watch the ball drop, finish the episode. Next thing I know, I'm waking up at 12:30. And I was like, no. So this is the first year that I didn't send everybody New Year's Eve texts or watch the ball drop, and I was a little bummed out. But you know what? I slept. I slept real good. And I woke up, and I was a little stressed out, but I'm here. I'm pushing through it because I know it's all in my head. I got stuff that I got to get done, and I'm just going to get it done. It's my day off. Why does everything have to be done before whatever time? Why do I have to rush through everything, right? I don't. Like I said, slow burn, trickle, take your time. Nothing is going to be instantaneous. There's no such thing. I mean, yes, of course, we do get some instant gratification, but I mean, how enjoyable is that most of the time? I get more enjoyment out of putting in all this work and getting frustrated and going through all these emotions. And then when I get there, I feel amazing. I feel better then because it took time, it took work, and I was willing to put it all in. And that is so rewarding. So for this new year, I hope that it treats all of you well. I don't know what's going on. A lot of talk about nuclear in North Korea right now. I don't know why he wants to ramp it up. Russia is invading the Ukraine with heavy missiles, heavy attacks. There's worry of comets colliding with the planet and resetting us. So with all of that going on around us, it's like, how do you look at the bright side of the world, right? Climate change, earthquakes, all of it. You know what? Whatever happens, happens. If we can't control it, who gives a fuck? That's where I'm at. That's my new goal, because that's something I really, really struggle with, is I want to control everything, whether it's controllable or not. But it's trying to control the uncontrollable that I think hurts me the most. If I don't have any control over it, why the fuck am I putting so much effort into it, right? So that's my new thing. I'm going to keep doing me. All this stuff going on around us, it may or may not happen. But if it does, what are you going to do? Just keep doing you. Don't worry about everything going on everywhere. Worry about you. Worry about your family and your friends and all your close ones and your sobriety or your journaling or your accomplishments or your diet. Put all of the energy that you're putting into yelling at people on social media or Twitter or being toxic, and take all of that energy and put it into yourself. Because you do know, right? All the energy that you're putting in to be negative or do anything or not do anything, you use that energy on yourself to turn something positive or to better yourself. You're going to be a happier person. Things will start to click. But I hope, I don't even hope. I do believe if you do this, everybody would be in a better place. It would be a happier world. But we're so focused on what doesn't really affect us that it affects you by keeping you where you are. I think that makes sense. But anyways, here we are. January 2023, first episode. It's only going to get better. I appreciate everybody out there. I just want to say again, thank you so much to the new subscribers, to all my old subscribers, and to everybody who's been with me since the beginning. Thank you so much. If you're new to the podcast, you're just stopping by, checking it out, whatever, it's free for you. Please hit that subscribe button, all right? It doesn't cost you a penny, and it keeps me coming back here week after week. I really wanted to make 200 subscribers before 2023. That goal was not met. So, hey, some goals won't be met. Am I going to get discouraged? Hell no. Keep pushing through. Keep pushing through. I believe in all of you, just like I know a lot of you out there believe in me. So, let's do this together. And share, rate, and review the podcast. Of course, always give a thumbs up for the videos, and, send some messages and love towards the guests. They're going to be coming back. There'll be more guests coming this year. And it's all because of everybody out there, showing all the love and support. for the podcast and for the guests. So again, thank you. Subscribe. And then, of course, if you want to follow me, I'm on all social media. The podcast is almost everywhere. And the easiest way for you to get involved with all of that is to click this Linktree link. That's right. It is in the description below the video. You click that link, you have access to everything TwT. So go click the link, give follows, subscribes, give rumbles, give everything, please. It's free for you. And I appreciate it so, so much. The official email of the podcast is talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. If you want to get more involved with the podcast, maybe you want to be a guest, maybe you want to tell a story, maybe you have a story that needs to be heard, well, you can type it out. You can send a voice message. You can send a video. I would prefer it if it was under 60 seconds. But you can do all of that by sending it over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And so, as always, I thank all of you. I hope you have an amazing Thursday. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And be kind to one another. Be safe out there. And as always, I will talk to you later.